Greetings, gamer guys and gals. Welcome to part number 9 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 5 Thracia 776. And in today's episode, we're going to be doing our best to get rid of all of these enemy units. I think it's going to be kind of a bit difficult, especially because we're already in a little bit of a pickle here. I want to try this with Fergus, but if he gets hit, he's just dead. But we kind of have to get rid of these units. All right, awesome. It's the beginning of the chapter, so you can take a little bit more of a risk here and there to see that your strategies pull through. One thing I can do is attack here, but how much defense does he have? He's got 11 defense, so Matcha is not going to do any damage. One thing we can do is we can attack him and then beat him up with Brighten if we hit. That's the big old if. If we hit, then we can go ahead and attack with... Alright, so... He's not gonna be in... He's not gonna be in support range if I do that, though. That's unfortunate, because I would like to attack one of these mages with, Matcha. I don't think she won, like... 1 rounds? Well, actually, no, she does perfectly. So I guess we're banking on a 67 hit. Come on, Brighton. Thank you. Awesome. And he got 1 magic. Really wild. Pretty sure, yeah, his growth is only 5%. That's actually kind of incredible. So now we can take out this mage with Matcha. As long as he doesn't hit... I was going to say, as long as he doesn't hit, she would be in no danger of being KO'd next turn, but now she actually kind of is. Alright, so this is... We're going to take 5 damage from this guy. Ooh. I don't know if I want to deal with that. Alright, so that's a problem. That's a real problem. I could put, like... we have to do it. We have to get this guy damaged. We have to get all of these guys, like, out of our way. Aw. And he missed. Cool. Very nice level up as well. Very nice. Pretty much got everything he needs. HP, skill, speed. Didn't really need defense. One thing we can do here is I could steal the Fire Tome from this guy, but he's going to try to escape immediately if we do that. Now the mages move last, so... I could box some folks in. I don't think this is necessarily a good idea. Alright, so steal Fire Tome. Like I said, if need be, resetting can happen. Don't want to. But if need be, resetting can happen. The mages move last, so we're actually perfectly fine here, I think. Well, I say that, but if Matcha gets hit by both the mages, we're not... Well, one of the mages, we're not perfectly fine here. And we definitely should have stole the door key. Aww. Well, not having that door key does do one thing. It means that we do have to use up an extra lockpick use. It's not the biggest of deals, but it's definitely not something great. Let's just say that. We are going to go ahead and heal up some of our units because they desperately need it. And then our best unit for dealing with this guy right here is literally Dawson. So let's have at it, shall we? And he crits. Doesn't need it at all, but thank you anyway, Dawson. You could have done that a couple of turns ago. And then let's put him here. Perfect. Take you out. Now, there are reinforcements in this chapter, but they all come around down here, and it's usually, I think, like after turn 10 or so. All right, so what we can do now is we can attack this soldier here. We are not going to one-round him unless we got adept here. We might be able to attack him with Matcha. But what we can do also is steal this fire tome. Ooh, nice. And yeah, we can finish him off with Matcha. And then after we steal that fire tome, we are going to steal that vulnerary. And we're pretty well set for this area. So yes, I do believe that this is one of the other harder chapters in this game, but it's definitely not something you can't beat if you don't if you try. Dawson would like to have a vulnerary. Matcha and Dawson are going to heal up next turn. Leaf is going to heal up too, but he's going to obviously use his light brand. Yeah, so Asbel actually has a chance, I believe, of dying, but that's only if he is exposed and can be attacked by more than 2 of these units a turn. Because of the position that Ced and Asbel are in right now, that's not possible. And that's the last of the soldiers up there. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and use our light brand. Very cool that that's a function, and it's actually not a function of pretty much any other game ever in the Fire Emblem franchise. There's, well, that's not true. There's stuff you can do with that in, I believe, oh, what is it? Fire Emblem 1, 3, 11, and 12. That's because 1 and 3 and 11 and 12 are just remakes of 1 and 3, so... Huh? Can I go home to my papa now? Oh, I can escape if I go down that passage to the right? Thank you. Bless you. Awesome. I just want to go home. How do I get home? Uh-huh. The way to the right? Then I'll run that way and won't stop till I'm back home. Thank you. Alright, no movement stars on either of them. Wasn't necessarily expecting it, but, you know. How much damage? Okay, we're doing 12. So we're doing 10 times 2, so actually, yeah. Let's just move up and heal up. Dawson is our slowest movement. Well, I mean, there's a couple of units that have as slow movement as him, so. Alright. And then now we can use the steel sword. Hopefully we hit both hits we needed to. And we did. Karen is going to get some lovely experience points from this. As much as possible that you can get her is just, it's such a boon. And then we can move up as well. We are going to have to open the door with a lockpick. So that's the only reason why I wanted the door key, was so that I didn't have to open this door with one of the thieves. Because unless they get a movement star, we're taking 2 more turns before we can even open this door. It's okay, kind of, because we do have to heal up some of our units anyhow. The reinforcements are literally a non-issue in this chapter. Let's see, we're going to take, doesn't matter, either one is 2 uses. Yeah, the reinforcements are a non-issue in this chapter. I find that by the time you are up and in these two cell areas, you are at no point going to be dealing with them, because that's around the time that they're going to spawn in. Alright, no movement star. Ah, no movement star. Well, you can't hope on it or bet on it, so it's just whatever. And I think that's perfect. We're going to end our turn there and let things go. And with that being said, we're going to open up this door with Laura. And we've got a couple of talk conversations to deal with. We can't reach this one with Karen yet, which is super unfortunate. We're going to move over here with Leaf. Move as much as we possibly can. Oh, that's perfect, actually. And then, after we get everybody pretty well positioned, we're just going to end our turn and see what happens here.
Lord Leaf, after all these years, it's me, Asbel.
Asbel? What in the world are you doing here? Why aren't you still in Tara?
I set off after you just as soon as we got separated. A lot of good that did. I couldn't figure out where you'd gone. For the last half year now, I've been sticking around Munster.
You left Tara that quickly? Then you spent the last 3 years looking for me?
Of course I did. I promised you as much, remember? With your blade and my magic, we were gonna take Thracia back together. But you just up and left me behind. That was quite heartless of you, Leaf. Lord Leaf.
I'm sorry, at the time I didn't have a choice. Tara had been surrounded by the Empire. I had prepared myself for the very real possibility of dying. When I fled, I never imagined I would make it out alive. I didn't want to drag you down with me, so I left you out of it.
What a load of Pegasus done. We swore to live and die together, didn't we? Or was that whole oath just part of some kid's game? I spent all these years with those words etched into my mind, and I chose to believe in them.
Asbel.
Lord Leaf, if only for my sake, you have to liberate Thracia. Make it so that my years of searching meant something.
I don't really think that your years of searching are that significant of an issue right now. Just being real. Alright, so, let's see. We have a new unit to talk about. And that unit is Asbel, the very first mage you get, and not gonna lie here, I think this is a little bit of one of the downfalls of this game. He is the one and only mage you get in this game for a very, very long time. Like, we're talking very long time. So, if you miss out on Chapter 4X, you miss out on this unit. You don't just miss out on this unit. You miss out on his busted ability, what he is. He's one of the best boss killers in this entire game. You miss out on several useful items as well. And the potential to capture the boss of this chapter, who has also several useful items. So, some stuff you can't get for quite a while, actually. At least a little while. So Asbel, he's a mage, and that's fantastic. He has a follow-up critical modifier of 3, and he comes with his very own Graph Caliber spell. It's preferential. Now, before I show you this, Sed over there was talking as if this was nothing but a measly, it was like a bauble. It was not that important. But when I show it to you, you're gonna see that I don't necessarily think he was in his right mind. Maybe. Preferential weapon, 100 hit, 13 might, 40 critical, 1-2 range, weight 3. Now in this game, hadn't really mentioned this up till this point because it wasn't really relevant up until this point. Weapon weight on tomes is just straight subtracted from speed. There is no constitution taken into the calculation of that. It's just subtracted from speed. So he always has -3 speed while using this. Not all that great. I kind of desire particularly to have him level. I want to level him up like 1 speed in this chapter if I can, which will allow him 1 or 2 speed, I think it is. Let's see. It's the fire tomes we're going to be giving him. Okay, so he only needs to level up 1 speed in order to double the enemy units in certain parts of the next chapter with fire. So that's very important. He doesn't actually have to do it this chapter. He really doesn't need it. You can get away with just blowing some Graph Caliber uses, but all in all, if you want to waste less Graph Caliber and use the fire, you kind of want him to get a level of speed in this chapter. So just keep that in mind. Now this is effective against flying units, so that means it has 39 might against any flyer. So Pegasus Knight, Wyvern Knight, so on and so forth. This is wildly powerful, and one of the best tomes you get in this game, arguably, like literally the best tome. It is top 2, top 3. Now, his growth rates are pretty good. 55% HP, 10% strength, 35% magic, 55% skill, 75% speed, 35% luck, 10% defense, 10% con, and 2% movement. So his bases don't look all that great, but again, remember, 20 are the stat caps. He will reach most of those, like literally most of those. So you don't really have to worry about that, especially because Sage promotion bonuses are the best in the game. The best. There is no competition. They are the best. Now, there are several different kinds of Sage promotion bonuses. There is male Sage, female Sage, there's cleric to Sage, so on and so forth. There's all different kinds, but they all have virtually the best and pretty much the same promotional growths. He has 1 Vigor Star and 6 movement, so he's one of your faster moving units at this point in the game. He has C rank plus 20 in wind, which is pretty good. It's not the greatest. He doesn't really need it for anything outside of the fact that wind tomes are D rank, so we're glad that he at least has that. There's actually no wind tome in E, which is very weird. And where you want him to reach is either A in fire or A in wind. It's not viable to do either. Because there's no fire mage that you get anytime soon, like anytime at all soon, not until virtually endgame. If you want high level fire spells to be used by this unit, you, like for instance Meteor, which is an A rank fire tome, you absolutely have to build his fire rank. He does get a plus to all of his ranks that are currently in his inventory. So fire, thunder, wind all get +1 upon promotion. So that's one less weapon rank you have to get with any of them. Reason why I didn't say thunder there is because yes, thunder has some viable tomes, but you do get a good set of thunder mages in this game at some point. And with that being said, you don't necessarily need to go the thunder route, but you can if you want. Preferably, what I'm going to be doing is leveling up his wind rank. I want him to have B. Now, he also has a useful skill, which is adept attack percentage chance to perform a consecutive attack. This is pretty good. Now, sages upon promotion get access to light tomes and staves, and I do believe he will get C rank in staves, so it's not even necessarily bad. light tomes are few and far between in this game. I do believe there's only a couple of light tomes in this game in general, but the ones that you get are pretty darn fantastic as well, so there is that also. Preferably, Wind is where I like to go with him, because the long-range tome for Wind is the most busted tome in this entire game. And I'm not kidding when I say that. It's not the strongest, it's not the best, it's just the most busted, what it does. So with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and move forward with doing what we need to. So first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and talk to Ced here with Karen.
Lord Ced, oh, Lord Ced, after all this time.
Yes, wait, Karen? Has something happened? Why have you left Celeste?
To find you, my prince.
To find me? Oh, for heaven's sake. Did Fee put you up to this, or was it my mother?
Lord Ced, I have some important news for you.
Is that so? Well, let's hear it.
Well, to tell the truth, oh, God.
Karen, if you have something to tell me, speak quickly and to the point. This is no time for weakness.
You're right. I regret to inform you that Her Majesty the Queen has...
Mother? No, she can't have.
I'm afraid so, my lord. 2 months ago.
Mother has passed away?
Lord Ced, I'm sorry. You shouldn't have found out like this here, of all places.
Does it matter? I was too late. Father. Oh, how I wanted them to see each other one last time.
Lord Ced, return to Celeste with me, please. Lady Fee is waiting for you.
Fee? How is she? Is she all right?
Celeste faces dire times, my lord. Lady Fee can put up a tough front but for the others, but when it's just me and her, she cries until her eyes dry up. Lord Ced, with respect, you've done her a great cruelty running away like you did. Lady Fee isn't much more than a kid, and you've gone and forced the burden of ruling Celeste onto her. That holy blood in your veins has gone to your head. You're the heir to Forsetti's legacy, good for you, but you up and walked out on your mother and sister. Does that sound like what a hero would do? Does that even sound like what a real prince would do?
Karen, You're right, of course, but Father was the only one who could cure Mother's illness. I couldn't do her any good just waiting at her side. Was I supposed to just sit there and watch her waste away? So I went to find Father, by whatever means I could.
Then why are you leading some rebel group in Munster?
I heard tell that my father had been here in Munster until half a year ago. I came here to pick up the trail, but it had gone cold. As I investigated, I discovered just how deeply the people of Munster suffered. I couldn't abandon them, as my father had abandoned Celeste.
Is that right? I apologize, Lord Ced. I should have heard your side of the story before judging you.
I'm sorry, Karen, but I need more time. If I can drive that menace Raedric from Munster, I'll gladly return to Celeste. By my estimation, that should only take half a year at most.
You're fixing to overthrow that creep, huh? Now that's a plan I can get behind. Count me in. I'll stay here with you.
I'm flattered, Karen, but as your prince, I insist you head back to Celeste. I couldn't fight knowing you were endangering yourself.
That's a diplomatic way of saying I would be a burden. But you're right. I would just slow you down. All right, I'll make my way back to Celeste, but only if you promise to come home yourself, Lord Ced.
You have my word, and as proof of my vow, I bestow this upon you.
What is it? A used handkerchief?
Ha! Would you believe this is an heirloom of the Celestian royal family? It's an ancient scroll penned by my namesake, the Crusader Ced himself. He imbued it with potent magic that strengthens whoever so much as holds it. I was supposed to give it to my betrothed, actually. Instead, I entrust it to you, Karen.
Are you really trusting me with something so valuable? This is most unexpected.
Karen, I did wrong by my mother, and I'm sorry. I owe you much for helping Fee in my absence, and this is a token of my gratitude. I want you to have it.
Okay, but I'm only keeping it safe for you. You'll get it back the second you return to Celeste.
then the snowy banks of Celeste shall be witness to our next meeting. Be well, Karen.
You said it. God be with you, Lord said.
And we get the Ced scroll. Unfortunately, we don't recruit Ced. So before I check out the Ced scroll, let's go ahead and check out Ced. He is a level 7 pre-promoted sage. And wow, is he amazing. So he has these bases with plus 20 skill and speed because of his tome, a preferential exalted tome. 90 hit, 20 might, 30 crit, 1-2 range, 6 weight. Gives plus 20 skill and speed, high critical hit rate, exalted wind tome, and effective against flyers. So if you're looking at this and saying, yeah, I can kind of understand why you can't recruit him. The Forsetti is mainly the reason. For one, it's unbreakable. It literally has no uses. And he has a follow-up critical modifier of 3, a base crit of 65, 2 Vigor stars. He has Adept, attack speed percent chance to perform a consecutive attack. Anchor prevents unit from being captured. This is the first time we've seen this. And Miracle Plus, we've already seen that as well. He has A rank in Staves, A rank in Light, A rank in Wind, D in Thunder, C in Fire. 8 in Movement, he's wildly strong. So there is no reason why we should be able to recruit a unit like this right now. He's just far and away too busted. Far and away. With that being said, though, we do have something we can do kind of interesting, and I'm actually planning on doing it. So the Ced scroll, it blocks criticals and modifies growths, just like every other scroll does. This is our second we have obtained, and it has HP minus 10, magic plus 10, and speed plus 30%. This is actually a fantastic scroll for Karen. Literally a very fantastic scroll for her. She doesn't really need the speed growth, granted, but she likes the magic growth, and even though the HP growth kind of hampers her, if she uses the Hazul scroll, which is currently on Lithus, the minus 10 HP growth is not really a bother. It would mostly be like plus 20% instead. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to do something very interesting. We're going to trade the Ced scroll all the way over to our friend Asbel. Now, the reason why we had to do that was because Karen had to talk and get the scroll, and we want the Ced scroll on a different unit. First, we actually kind of want it on Fergus. We'll see the reason why that is in a moment. The Hazul scroll can go on Fergus as well. And then we can go with Fergus right here and trade Asbel the door key. So he comes with a door key too. That's pretty fantastic in my opinion. We're also going to heal up. Kind of need to. And then, yeah, that's pretty well it. Only thing we could do that would technically benefit us here is we could rescue Karen and then place her a bit closer to Fergus, but I don't think he's going to need it. At least, potentially, he's not going to. So, we have an Armored Knight here, alongside another unit here we can't see. She is a female Thunder Mage, one of the only in the game, actually. And this unit has a Devil Axe, which is a 20 might weapon. Now, it has a 21 minus luck % chance to damage its user instead, so this guy only has 1 luck. So he has a 20% chance to just smack his own self, which is pretty funny, and I've seen it happen before. But we kind of want Fergus to deal with him. As long as Fergus doesn't get hit, we're pretty well golden in that. So we're just going to end turn. Would be nice to have Karen in range of supporting him, but I don't want the enemies in the other room to attack whoever rescues her. Pretty insane he did not crit. So one thing I absolutely love doing with this unit here is I love stealing her Thunder Tome. that was not necessary. Definitely not something I wanted to happen. We're going to rescue Ced so he doesn't do that anymore, particularly. Let's see. We can just steal right away her Thunder. And then we can go here and trade. We're going to take the Ced scroll and the Hazul scroll. We're also going to take the Fire and the Thunder tome. And we're going to attack with Fire. We're not actually doing that much damage there. Could attack with Thunder. Let's go ahead and attack with her own Thunder. So hopefully she moves away, but even if she doesn't, we're going to just KO her next turn anyhow. We're going to be keeping Ced rescued on Dawson for a good long while. Basically until we get through with this room, because we don't want Ced to mess up any of our strategies. We can move Leaf here. We want Brighton to be a little bit closer, as Brighton is one of the lower movement characters in our party. And we can... we could do that, but I don't really know that that's necessary. And Matra has leveled up very exceptionally well in these chapters. I'm actually kind of very surprised. She's looking to be a very fantastic unit. And that's pretty different, I would say, than normal. I don't typically use her normally. Alright, so, yep, she does have the chest key. That's nice. We could go ahead and use the Slim Sword. I think it doesn't really matter. We're going to double either way, I think. Oh, we didn't double. That's actually really funny. I'm over here like, yeah, we're going to double either way. And we don't. So let's trade. We're going to take the chest key and open up the life ring. And we are going to be taking that life ring with Asbel. It helps him out quite a bit. And then we can trade this chest key. Get an iron blade. That's actually not a bad weapon to keep on Leaf, just for the sake of having a weapon other than the light brand to use. And then we're going to go into items and use the chest key on here and get the Brave Sword. So this weapon is highly busted. It's even stronger than the Brave Axe. The Brave Axe only has, I believe, 14 might? Yes, 14 might. So this weapon has a little bit more weight, but it has 15 might, 75 hit, 1 range. This is one of the best weapons in the game, and our friend Fergus here is only 6 weapon uses away, which is exactly the use of this rapier, from being able to use it, and we're going to be taking heavy advantage of that. I cannot wait. Let's go ahead and move over here. And then we can move up here. We don't want to go next to that door yet because there's a lot of ranged units. Alright, so items. We do have Thunder equipped. We're going to go ahead and equip... I don't really want to go there, though. I kind of want to give Karen the scrolls because, well, I don't think she's getting a level from this, so it doesn't really matter. We're just going to go ahead and attack with the Slim Sword. Very nice. Oh, she did get a level from that. Very nice. Incredible, in fact. She is now a level 6 Pegasus Knight. Yeah, she probably would have really enjoyed having that scroll.
So, with that being said, yep, let's just keep the thunder on us. And we will worry about opening up the next room next turn. Yep, we do have several soldiers and axe users over here that do have ranged attacks. It's good that we were able to bait one over. But with that being said, I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to bid our farewells yet again. Sorry, we have to cut it short, but these episodes, I want them to stay around similar sizes. I want to thank you for joining me, and if you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe depending on your platform. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.